podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Painbearer Corbin Shiv. A hag named Mad Maggie offered to restore Lulu's memories, but in return we had to bring her the souls of 4 victims. Instead, we decided to kill her, rescue her mechanic, and steal one of her infernal war machines. That didn't work out too good, and right now I'm unconscious. In the middle of our fight, Fort Knucklebone's gates were crashed in by an Avernian warlord named Raggadragga and his infernal war machine.
I step towards the front of the vehicle. I trace my fingers over the symbol of the eye on my breastplate, and I say, I'm the Watcher. The enemy is powerful, cunning, deceptive. I'll be vigilant in the face of corruption. And I'm going to...
Gargoth, you hear him say, "Get on with it, man!"
I'm going to channel divinity, abjure the extraplanar, and I'm going to castigate unworldly beings, and I would like every fucking redcap and madcap to make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw.
8 red caps and 2 mad caps. Of the 8, 4 succeed and 4 fail.
I'll take it.
Of the mad caps, both fail.
Okay. Nothing's actually going to happen to them right now, but on their turn, they are required to use the dash action to get as far away from me as they can, and they can't willingly end their turn in a space within 30 feet of me.
You got it. That leaves 4 not affected.
And that is my turn.
Hylan, your turn.
Okay, I heard what she said. I saw her golem run out, and I saw the red caps turn towards this vehicle. So I know which way the wind is blowing. And I'm going to shoot psychic blades at the driver of said vehicle. So I'm going to use steady aim, and then I will only get 1 attack. I got a 23.
23 will hit. Yeah, he's wearing very light armor. You see he's just sort of wearing leather straps with metal spikes on his shoulders.
This psychic blade just goes right through a separation in his armor and does 8 psychic and 12 sneak attack for 20 points of damage.
Ouch! He screams in fury, and as you watch, he looks down at his hands and looks at you with intense fury, Hylan, in the air, and reaches for a lever. Looks like he's about to pull something. But as he does so, you see his face begin to change. And grinding his teeth, you see his teeth begin to extend. And where his mouth is, it seems to sort of widen into a snout. And before you, he changes. Fur appears all over his body. His eyes sort of turn into tiny little beads underneath his sort of massive protruding forehead. He's got tusks, golden tipped tusks coming out of his mouth.
It's like a warthog.
He does. He looks like some kind of a boar or warthog that is definitely taller than the average human or warthog. Yeah, definitely. When I was a young warthog. That is Raggadragga. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay, that's a 15.
Make this a disadvantage since I'm still exhausted, and it is a 3.
Ophelia's rolled a 17.
Hylan and Ofelia, you recognize this probably from illustrations that you have leafed through whilst in Baldur's Gate. This is some kind of a were creature. This one, of course, a were-boar. He brandishes this enormous two-handed warhammer and screams in your direction as you have done him grievous ill. Hylan?
Unless you can fly with that, good luck. And then I'm gonna stay where I am.
Ofelia.
Ofelia is going to take this opportunity to just give herself a big old dose of healing. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Corbin is dying!
Oh, wait, Corbin's dying.
Down!
Nope. Ofelia runs over to Corbin, who she's just remembered is dying. And I will, instead of casting a big old dose of healing on myself, I will cast it on Corbin. So you're going to get a Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
All right.
I like that.
You are going to heal 17.
All right.
Very nice, Ofelia. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Ofelia?
I will stay where I am, right?
While you guys were staring at Raggadragga and his Furious Four, Wizen has come out from underneath the scavenger, has clambered up on top of it, and is swiftly attaching wires where they were not, checking to see if the engine is in order, and then says out into the open, I need soul coins. We're not going to be able to get this done unless I got some soul coins. It is now the Redcap's turn. But those who were affected will run screaming from you, of course, Renascence, using their entire turn to run away and their action as well. So they're just freaking out a little
Chaos
bit.
is a ladder, you know?
Nice. So they will move 25, 50 feet. And then the other red caps will take on these two guys. They just run at them. They run, but they don't get in range enough to jump stomp them like they did Corbin, but they brandish their sickles nonetheless. Almost as if signaled by Raggadragga's transformation, they too transform. However, they do not transform into wereboars. These sprout fur, just like Raggadragga, but it is not brown, it is sort of black fur. Their face sort of narrows to a snout. Their ears disappear into their head, and you see sort of almost rodent-like features appear on their faces. And now they have beady red eyes. These creatures are certainly similar to Raggadragga, but instead of wereboars, they're were-rats. They will launch into attacks against the redcaps. Attack against the red cap. Oh, that's a crit against the red cap. Holy shit. Does 12 damage to the red cap. Does that mean that this red cap is no longer abjured?
That's Chris. Yeah, after it takes a hit, it is no longer turned.
The other two, the bull, they transform as well into similar creatures like Raggadragga, only less imposing. They are wereboars as well. And they will take their attacks on the red caps. The wereboars miss their targets, even with advantage, surprisingly. Mad Maggie. She is definitely more focused on Raggadragga than she ever was on you. She issues orders to all of her troops to attack Raggadragga, and her fingers aim at Raggadragga, and you see a green laser-like beam pulse out of it at Raggadragga, and hits with a 21.
Ooh.
Raggadragga slouches when he gets hit by this beam and goes, whether it's words or just sort of grunting boar noises, you have no idea, but certainly seems perhaps less imposing after that hit. That is Mad Maggie's turn. She looks back at you guys and she says, all right, new gear. 4 souls. Take those 4 and I'll take Lulu for a spin in the dream machine. Deal or no deal?
Deal.
I think we should take it, yes.
Mad Maggie smiles.
No.
She smiles.
No.
And now, that is her turn. Mad Maggie is done. Madcap time. The Madcaps run screaming as they've been abjured and run from your position in the direction of the lycanthropes. Mad Maggie looks at the Madcaps as they pass her and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that is their turn. Corbin, you're up.
All right, so Corbin is laying on the ground. He just got healed. He has no idea what is happening right now. Like, he just knows these things took him out, and he sees these other people who just busted through the gate in this car. Can I make literally a split-second insight
I
check?
screamed, Corbin,
Sure.
New plan, kill the warthog.
Corbin's not listening. He's taking his own.
Insight check with disadvantage, my friend.
That's an 11.
Your head is spinning. You have no clue.
He's not surrounded by enemies. Bonus action. Corbin is going to use his last steps of the night, and he is going to fly. How tall is that flesh golem creature?
10 feet tall.
So if he's 15 feet up in the air, it can hit him, right?
If Corbin is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Corbin is flying 30. He's going to stay out of the creature's reach. He's going to fly above Mad Maggie, and he is going to cast Spirit Guardians at 3rd level because he is not making a deal with this hag. They just knocked him down.
I like the new guys a lot better.
We needed to pick Lulu's brain. I mean, that came out wrong.
It's okay, Lulu's 120 feet up in the air. She didn't hear you.
And that's his turn.
Raggadragga runs over to the side of this vehicle where you see that there is a harpoon gun, and Raggadragga, although his eyes are, he's sort of like looking halfway between you, Hylan, and up in the air at Lulu. And then he'd fire a harpoon at Lulu.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I'm glad we're not killing him.
Corbin was unconscious. How would he know that?
Because Renascence told you.
Yeah.
Raggadragga will fire the harpoon. As you watch, the harpoon flies into the air, and Lulu, seeing too late this thing is unable to dodge out of the way. You see that there is a chain attached to the back of the harpoon as it flies at Lulu and strikes her right in the wing. And then Raggadragga uses his bonus action to reel Lulu in.
Holy shit.
Raggadragga just grabs Lulu and she's like squeals in pain, and Raggadragga just goes in victory.
Somebody better fucking save her. Somebody better fucking save her or I'll never forgive you.
I'm gonna try.
She had 8 temporary hit points, so I don't know if there was damage.
It did unfortunately do the damage that went over the 8. That is Raggadragga's turn. It is now Mickey's turn. Mickey has orders. However, he starts his turn in your Spirit Guardians.
I don't have to hit him with them if I don't want. Once I saw that, Corbin immediately changed his side.
When you cast the spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. You cast this spell, and unfortunately, you did not say that Mickey was unaffected by it.
Except I can drop concentration at any time.
You can drop it anytime you want. Do you want to do it now?
I'll drop it.
Spirit Guardians, poof, disappear. Maggie's like,
shit.
She looks at you, and she says,
That was a good choice. I think I like you. You owe me, hag.
she looks at you, and in your mind, Corbin, you hear,
I think we have some things to tell some people, if you know what I mean. I'd say we're even.
the flesh golem then will run, sort of moaning at these lycanthropic creatures. He can attack 2 of them. He will take 1 attack on the rat and 1 attack on the boar. And he'll hit for both. Okay, well, he killed one with 1 shot.
Wow.
He did 32 hit points of damage. This were-rat takes the full brunt of Mickey's fury, and his fist just goes right through its rat face, comes out the other side, and it falls to the ground dead. Mickey will hit with the second one, but only do 15 damage on the were-boar. Were-boars seem to be tougher than the rats. Lulu, it's her turn. She is restrained, and all she can do is attack at disadvantage at Raggadragga with her tusks. She's hurt. Her blood is not red, it is golden, beating up on her wing, and little droplets are falling on the ground. And as they do, you see a little hiss as it hits the ground of Avernus. Lulu will just make a tusk attack at disadvantage. Yeah, that's an 11. That's not enough, unfortunately. Renascence, it is now your turn.
Renascence is low on gas. He's going to charge forward, just out of the mouth of the cave, and he will point the devil fingers at Raggadragga and whistle. And Raggadragga will have to make a DC 14 wisdom save.
That's a 20.
Nothing whatsoever happens. So yeah, that's my turn.
Hylan.
I immediately throw 2 psychic blades at Raggadragga because unacceptable. It's an 18 to hit.
Hit. Now, Lulu is an ally,
Yes.
so you get sneak attack.
Yes, I do, and it's a big one. 8 psychic and 20 sneak attack for 28 damage on the first hit.
Amazing. Yeah, as the Raggadragga is just sort of screaming in victory and looking down at Lulu, this blade comes whistling across the field and embeds itself in his chest.
Woohoo! I'm gonna hit him with the second one. That's gonna miss with a 9.
Yes, unfortunately.
Furious. I'm gonna stay where I am.
Ofelia, you're up.
I am going to, now that my friend is healed, take this opportunity to heal myself as well. I will cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level. I heal myself 18 hit points. And then I will charge back forward into the fray as far as I can. I won't be that close yet, but yeah, she runs up, so she's standing basically just about next to Renascence.
The red caps will face off against the were-rats and were-boars, doing their multiple sickle attacks.
The ones that are turns can't attack. They just have to keep running.
Yeah. Out of the remaining 7 red caps, 2 will continue to run away, and they will take opportunity attacks by the were creatures, and the wereboar turns around as these come screaming around the corner and will whack them in the back of the head with its maul twice. Hitting twice, doing 18 damage on the red cap, and killing one. Yeah, that red cap is very, very dead. The other 4 will make 12 attacks, all with advantage against the wereboar.
Bye, wereboar.
That is 9 hits out of 12.
Wow.
Boy.
42 damage against the wereboar. Doesn't kill it. That is their turn. The were-rat that is remaining, it calls up to Raggadragga. And it's sort of a scratchy whine up at Raggadragga and says,
You have her. Are we gonna leave now?
and Raggadragga calls down at the were-rat and says,
Yes! Get up here and start driving!
and the rat uses its action to disengage from the red cap right next to it and climb up on top of the vehicle. That is the were-rat's turn. The wereboar, who is surrounded by red caps, as well as the one across the field, they will make retaliatory attacks against the red caps. Missing with one of the wereboars and the other hitting twice, doing 18 damage and killing another red cap. That is it for the wereboars. And Mad Maggie, hearing this conversation between Raggadragga and the were-rat that has just boarded the vehicle, screams out to you and says,
Fuck! Can you come, for God's sake? We can't let Lulu get away!
and she will cast a spell, Sleep. She casts it in the direction of Raggadragga. That's, unfortunately, that's not even enough to take Lulu out to sleep. Nor the were-rat, nor Raggadragga, and she just snaps her clawed fingers and goes,
Fucking hell! I'm relying on you guys to do what I'm asking you to do if you want to get Lulu's memories back.
The madcaps, who are still under your abjuration, continue their trek across Fort Knucklebone. That's their turn. Corbin, it is now yours.
Thanks, Hag. That's what I was gonna do. So, good to know.
Corbin will fly 30 feet straight south, but on an angle so that he's 10 feet away from Raggadragga, and he'll reach out his long arm and smack him and cast Inflict Wounds, that first level. Come on. 16?
A 16 will hit.
He takes 16 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, your arm splays out, and you're able to find purchase on Raggadragga's face and smacks him across his boar pate, and he sort of grunts in pain as parts of his skin come off and slough onto the vehicle itself. They sort of just fall down in big red chunks.
As his bonus action, he'll move his spiritual weapon 20 feet closer, but it's so far away at this point. And then for his free action, he would like to draw Deadeye's sword and point it at the boar and say,
Don't even try to run, pig.
and that's his turn.
It is now Raggadragga's turn. He'll call out to the other 2 remaining troops that are not dead, the wereboars, and he just says,
Get on board! We're getting out of this place! We've got the Celestial!
and then he will look at you, Corbin, and fire a harpoon, which does not have a chain, at you. That's a miss. That's a 9 to hit.
All right.
Not even close, pig.
The solid steel bolt flies out from this harpoon flinger, I guess you could call it, and embeds itself into the wall, close to Mad Maggie's face, and she just doesn't even flinch. That's Raggadragga's turn. The golem now goes. Mickey will try to prevent this wereboar from surviving and will take 2 attacks on him, hitting with both. This wereboar is not going to make it, folks. That is a total of 35 damage. Yeah, that wereboar just took it straight in the belly, and the golem just lifts up the wereboar and with 2 hands just rips him apart.
Oh, boy.
And in 2 pieces, he flies across the cave. Lulu can't do much. She's held by this harpoon that's just speared her. So she can only just make an attack at disadvantage with her tasks at this point.
She's within 5 feet of me,
Does that make a difference?
only if she wants to cure me.
Oh, Well,
I don't know, what would Lulu do?
That's a good point. She does have one last Cure Wounds left for the day. She just reaches out with her trunk. It's like the painting of God touching man on the top of the Sistine Chapel. She just reaches out her trunk and you touch your finger, your giant arm comes out 10 feet, and then you guys touch, and there's like a brilliant golden light, and Lulu gives you back 6.
I won't let them take you.
And Lulu looks at you, and telepathically you hear,
You're a good person.
Renascence, your turn.
I charge straight forward, and I think I've got just enough movement to jump on the Raggawagon. Is that true?
Yes!
Raggawagon.
So I jump up on the front of the Raggawagon.
Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to ask you just because it's tall, right? So I'm going to actually make you do either athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Certainly athletics.
It's a disadvantage, unfortunately, because you're still exhausted.
Even with disadvantage, it is an 18.
Amazing!
Great.
Yes, you power through it and jump onto this vehicle.
I triumphantly land on the vehicle with my mace and shield, and I say, 1 second, and I lay hands on myself for 25 hit points.
Amazing. Gargoth says,
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
Fight smart, Gogs. Fight us smart. That ends my turn.
Just one fireball. Someone else. Just one fireball. Come on.
You want me to kill Lulu? Well, don't even answer that. Of course you do. That does end my turn.
okay, Hylan, you're up.
I shoot 2 more psychic blades into Raggadragga.
Go for it.
Oh, no, that's a crit fail on one. Then my second hit is a 16.
A 16 will hit.
Great. That's 4 psychic and 14 sneak attack for 18 damage.
Yeah, this is definitely wearing him down. Raggadragga is staggered. He is not liking being a pincushion here.
We won't let them take you, Lulu.
Ofelia, your turn.
Ophelia runs up to the front of the Raggawagon, which I'm glad we're calling it now. And can I actually attempt to free Lulu from her spearing?
You will need to climb up on top of it, so you'll need to make an athletics check or an acrobatics.
I'm going for acrobatics. That is a 17.
That will make
Nice.
it. Yeah, you do a handstand and then flip over and over and over, and then whoop, 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 thing, and then you land, and you totally stick the landing.
Oh yeah. She throws her violin up in the air and then catches it again just for flair.
Yes! That's so dope. I love it.
Yeah, I would like to free Lulu from the...
Here's the thing. If you free Lulu, you will have to pull out the harpoon from her wing. There is a nasty barb on the end of that harpoon. If you pull it out, it will do damage to Lulu, but it will free her.
Can Lulu drink a healing potion?
I don't see why not.
Theoretically. Could I, as a bonus action, take my greater healing potion and hand it to her? Like, so she can hold it in her trunk and she can have it if she needs it.
Yeah. You can give it to her as a bonus action, sure.
I do. I give her my potion of greater healing. And then I say, I'm sorry, Lulu. I hope this doesn't hurt, but if it does, this will help.
Well, what do you mean? What are you doing?
I'm going to free you, Lulu. Unless
no.
you don't. Do you not want me to?
No. Get this thing out of my wing. It real hurts.
All right. I do.
Okay. She holds her breath and her eyes just sparkle, and you pull it out of her wing, and there's sort of a sickening crunch, and golden blood spills out of Lulu's wing, and in your mind, you just hear this piteous cry,
I'm
and
so sorry.
and then Lulu's like,
Oh, I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
but she is no longer taken captive by this harpoon.
Oh, you had to do it.
Fly away, Lulu.
On her turn, she will attempt to.
Drink that healing potion.
The red caps, the one that runs away continues to run away. I will just say that for the mad caps as well. They're running towards the gate. The other red caps that are still alive, however, will, well, hell, they'll jump on top of the damn thing too. They're small creatures, so it'll be a little bit more difficult for them, but they also have these boots which totally make them Mario-esque as they jump onto this vehicle. The werebore will attack this red cap with its maul and will... Oh shit, he crit it. Well, we don't have to worry about that red cap because he hit it right in the back of the head and it killed it with 18 hit points of damage. There are 3 red caps left. They all 3 will jump on top of this vehicle and will attack the were-rat and Raggadragga. So we're talking 9 attacks. Oh, 2 crits. Holy shit. 29. That's enough to kill the were-rat. Yeah, the red cap that jumps closest to the were-rat just lays into it with a couple of well-timed strikes with its horrendous-looking sickle, and the were-rat just turns into just Gibbs. There's very little of him left. His head sort of falls off the front between you, Renascence, and you, Ofelia, and Raggadragga screams as his driver has been massacred. Raggadragga takes some hits as well, but not as many as the were-rat did. That's their turn. And the were-boar will run up next to you, Ofelia, and will climb up the side, not all the way up top, but enough that he'll have 5 feet of distance between himself and you, and will strike at you twice with his maul. Non-natural 20.
That'll hit.
And then the second attack is a miss with a natural 1.
Great.
So that's 11 bludgeoning damage on you, Ofelia.
Okay, that's not too bad because I still had my 8 temporary hit points.
Fantastic, only doing 3. Maggie steps out in front of the vehicle, and she is reveling in all of this carnage and violence. She's just like cackling. She's like,
Yes, this is exactly what I was waiting for today. Amazing! I love it!
and then she will cast another spell at the were-boar. That same green laser comes out of her hand and will unfortunately miss the were-boar. Corbin, your turn.
Corbin will fly up over the were-boar and go around and flank
Raggadragga.
And he will once again reach out a big old paw and smack him with advantage. 23.
23 will hit.
5 necrotic damage. That's it. That's my turn.
Raggadragga does not like being hit, and instead of hitting you with his enormous warhammer, he levels his tusks at you and strikes at you with his tusks.
I am flying above him. Can he still hit me with his tusk?
How far above him are you?
Well, to get advantage, I would have to be within 5 feet, right? So I'm just flying above him.
So then he would probably just sort of jump up and try to impale you with these enormous tusks on his face. That's a 22 to hit.
Hits.
9 slashing damage. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
A crit fail with a 3.
Oh no.
As this creature's tusks pierce your flesh,
bug bore.
Oh my god.
Oh!
it was meant to be, Corbin.
Yes!
As this creature's tusks pierce your flesh, you feel your veins begin to throb. You feel becoming feral. You feel like you just need to sort of strike out at whatever's around you. Your eyes turn red. This is a red haze in front of your eyes. And you look down at Raggadragga, almost like, definitely you're still enemies, but almost like you're kin now.
Oh god.
That is Raggadragga's first attack. He then will smack you with his giant maul.
I thought we're kin. We're kin. No. I'm pretty sure. You and me, we got like a bond. No one understands. It's secret.
Daddy!
Raggadaddy? That is a 13 to hit.
That misses.
All right, Mickey will try to make an athletics check and pick up the fucking vehicle like the Hulk. This is gonna be a very hard check, but he's got a strength that is pretty impressive. So let's see, I'm gonna make the DC 22. He rolled a 24. And yes, he will
boy.
fucking flip it. This vehicle flips over. Everything that isn't flying on this vehicle will need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ofelia, do you get a +3 on this? Because you are within 10 feet of me.
Thank you. So I've rolled a 13.
Renascence got a 16.
Those of you who got equal to or better than a DC 15 land either on your feet or are able to roll off of this vehicle before it is completely flipped over and crushes whatever is underneath it. If you got a DC 15 or better, then you're cool. If not, then you will take some damage.
Oh no.
And how much damage will we take?
You will take 3d6. That's a total of 12 damage and are prone and restrained underneath the vehicle.
Ouch!
Lulu's flying, so she just flies the hell out of there.
Corbin's flying, so he just flies.
He flies out of there too. Raggadragga does not make it, so he takes 3d6 damage. He takes a total of 8 damage, and he is prone and restrained underneath the vehicle. The 3 red caps that are on this 2 of them make their dex save and they're able to roll out of the way. 1 of them does not and takes 10 damage and kills him. You just hear, oh fuck, and there is just a big splat. The wereboar, however, gets the entire thing just thrown on top of him. He does not get to make a dex saving throw because the golem just throws it right on top of him. So he'll take 66 damage, 20 damage.
Whoa.
And is pinned underneath the vehicle with all of you that are pinned. That's Mickey's turn. Holy shit. Lulu, who is free, flies out of there and uses her action to drink that greater healing potion.
It's 44 plus 4.
16 hit points she gets back, so she's back to full.
Renascence calmly walks over to where Raggadragga is struggling, pinned underneath the Raggawagon, and I sort of measure the shot, and I swing Heaven's Fall around and bring it down on his head with advantage because he's prone. That is a 25.
Roll your damage, sir.
8.
Yeah, you hit him square in the head, and you hear a crunch, and he's like,
Not gonna kill the great Raggadragga.
I will do that again.
okay.
Oh boy.
That is a 24.
Yes.
9.
Okay. Yeah, still not dead. Very close.
Dump a level 2 Divine Smite on him.
Awesome.
8 more.
He's in trouble.
You divine smite, and his skull splits open.
Whoa.
Nice.
He is no more.
Raggadagga.
I look up at the other wereboar is pinned, right?
Yeah.
And I say, had enough.
Make an intimidation check.
I would have disadvantage because I'm exhausted, but can we just call it a push because he's pinned under a car and all his friends are dead?
Sure.
Doesn't matter because I only got a 7.
This wereboar just looks up at you, still pinned under the wagon, looking at the essentially headless body of his master, Raggadragga.
You're going to die.
And just spits
I'll
at
be
you.
honest, mate, I don't see a bright future for you. That's end of my turn.
Hylan.
Okay, I'm gonna fly in closer, right next to Lulu. So now I am about 20 feet away from this boar
Yeah.
and 30 feet up.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to throw both psychic blades at the boar. 20 to hit.
Roll your damage.
That's 5 psychic, 15 sneak attack for 20 damage.
Yeah, he grunts as the psychic blade enters him and then disappears, but he is still not dead.
For the second one, that is a crit fail.
Nope, that will miss. Just hits the dust. Ofelia, you're up.
Okay, what would I need to do to attempt to free myself from being crushed under the weight of this?
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics. It's like a DC. It's just an escape. The DC is 15.
That's a 19.
There you go. You find where there's just like a little bit of give, and you just roll out from underneath. But you're still prone.
Can I now use my movement to stand up, though?
Half of it, yes.
And then, once I've stood up, I'll stay.
The 2 remaining red caps, giggling with insane glee, they come out from underneath the remains of this vehicle, surround the wereboar on both sides, and just psycho stab into the wereboar 6 times, giggling the whole time.
Oh, God.
And you want to be friends with them?
Who said friends?
Yes, Corbin, I want to be friends with them. That's my whole plan.
Wait, are you being sarcastic?
Yes.
Wait, was that sarcastic?
No.
All right, I believe that one.
No fewer than 3 of them were natural 20s.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Total of 39 damage. We're dead.
My brother is dead. Down.
They just sort of stand up and their faces are just coated in gore. And they look back at Mad Maggie and nod. Mad Maggie pulls out something, and it is actually her turn now since the wereboar is in fact deceased. Mad Maggie goes over to Raggadragga, smiles, pulls out from her pouch a soul coin. Actually, she pulls out 4 soul coins, and she places this object, this fist-sized, crenellated iron disc, over Raggadragga's corpse, and you watch as a reddish miasma issues forth from Raggadragga's chest. And for just a second, you can see a face screaming in torment. That face contorts and turns into a boar and it sort of melds with this human face, and then that entire reddish mist is sucked into this soul coin, and the coin glows with a hellish orange light. Maggie looks at you and says,
Well, that's one way to get your souls.
and then she looks at the other bodies, as if ready to do the same for them.
Hi, everybody. The show will be back shortly for the second half. Hey, have you ever wanted to fight Mad Max wereboars like our heroes did in this episode? Well, our professional dungeon masters are available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventures, as well as third-party adventures and some we've created ourselves. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, on Instagram at cast_party, or on TikTok at cast_party. As always, we are offering free monthly online adventures with our Dungeon Masters. These free games fill up quickly, so if you would like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. Thanks very much for listening, and now back to our adventure in Avernus.
You're out of combat.
Are we?
Yeah.
I think
You
we
are.
Yes.
Yeah, my wings disappear and I land.
The red caps aren't attacking us or anything?
They are not.
Corbin would like to land next to Maggie since he was next in initiative. He's going to watch this soul get sucked into this coin, and he's going to look at her and he's going to say,
Say what you gotta say, hag.
You sure about that?
he just walks away from her.
As you walk away from Maggie, your arm begins to throb. And then you look down at the wound that Raggadragga made, and I'd like you to make an Arcana check.
Not medicine?
I'll accept either one.
I mean, I would be happy to assist. Like, I can make an
You have
Arcana check.
no idea, Ofelia, what has happened.
I'll do a medicine. Oh my god, that's like crit fail.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
But it's still an 8.
You don't know what's going on with you, Corbin. Something doesn't feel right.
Corbin's personality, he's going to hide this as much as he can from everyone else.
As you walk away and feel this throbbing in your veins, Maggie turns to the rest of you and says,
You know your friend there, he's a good guy. I think he's made some bad choices.
What do you mean?
She holds up the soul coin that is glowing with orange light and has an infernal rune of Z stamped upon it. And she says,
Your friend there, I can smell him a mile away. I can smell sin. I can smell when you've made the wrong choices with the wrong people. Actually smelled kind of good to me. Smells like cookies.
He's been very open with us about his past and how he hasn't always made great choices. We already know this about him and we accept it.
Well, that's lovely, dear. You happen to know what he's got in his back pocket there that looks kind of like this?
and she holds up the coin.
You said you could help Lulu. That's about all I want to talk about right now.
Mad Maggie sort of like cocks her head, like, you're not interested? Interesting. And she takes, in her next 30 seconds, the opportunity to go around to the other 3 of her chosen targets that have been felled upon the field. 2 of them were-rats, and 1 of them this poor were-boar that was just eviscerated by her redcaps, and proceeds to remove the souls of these creatures into 3 other soul coins.
This is making me very nauseous, and I just ask Lulu if I can have a hug, and I just kind of sit there hugging Lulu.
Lulu wraps her trunk around you, and she says,
Just don't look at it, dear. Just don't look at it. This place will make you bad if you keep looking at it and then you believe in it. Next thing you know, you'll be like them.
Mad Maggie finishes her task, and she now has a stack of 4 soul coins that are all glowing orange.
While she's doing that, I will occupy myself with inspecting the damage to the Ragga wagon. See how bad it is.
Mickey flipped the damn thing, but it's pretty solid. It doesn't look structurally to be banged up, except maybe from the front. You see that the front's been crumpled, probably when it rammed the gate. Some of these like spikes, these sort of gnashing teeth, I guess you could call it, on the front of the wagon have been sort of broken off. It's likely that it could be repaired if you had the raw materials and the person to do it.
You should ask Mickey there to flip it back over and let the elephant guy fix it. What do you think?
Well,
I think that would be a good idea.
yeah, I don't know that Mickey's going to listen to me. Mickey, see if he reacts at all.
Mickey does, in fact, sort of look over in your direction.
Flip it.
Sort of makes a little bit of a moaning noise, like.
I gesture for him to flip it, but like not in a way that's going to land on Maggie.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Mickey comes around to the front and he looks over at Maggie, and Maggie sort of like nods at him, and Mickey takes the front of it and decides to do what he did before, except flip it hopefully back onto its treads. So he'll make another athletics check.
Can I help him? I am proficient.
Sure, they'll give him advantage. Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. The two of you.
All I needed was a little tiefling to help. Yeah.
Yeah,
Guidance.
okay, with guidance. Okay, you you touch the leg of Mickey. It feels all cold and clammy and stuff, and like this golden light goes into him, and then it goes, ooh, ooh.
Bill Mountain believes in you, Mickey.
Oh, balls. Yeah, even with advantage and with guidance, that's a D4. That's probably not going to do it. Yeah, that's only a 14. Mickey's like, and then just like heaves it down onto the ground, and it's still on its back.
Expected a bit more from a varsity letterman.
Wizen, can you use any of the parts from this vehicle to fix yours?
Wizen sort of comes out from the cave where he's been working the whole time and watching the last few minutes of this fight that has just occurred and the dismantling of the Ragga wagon, as you like to call it. And he sort of looks it up and down. He goes, it's a demon grinder. It's pretty good. Not bad. It's good condition. Got one that's kind of in shitty shape, but it's up to you. I could take the parts from the scavenger and pop it onto the demon grinder, or I could do the opposite and pop some metal plates from the demon grinder onto the scavenger.
Oh, do you think you could write this?
We'd need some kind of a mechanism, like just like a crane or something, to just get in there and pull the whole thing and flip it over.
Which one's better?
What do you mean better?
Like, if we had to go out there and kill monsters and shit, like, which one would kill them better? Like this one or that one? You'll be in the car with us, so you want the one that's better, right?
He sort of shakes his head and goes, I'm sorry, what?
We made that deal, remember? Which one's better?
Will you call that one a scavenger? I point back to the one he was working on.
He says, yeah, that's a scavenger. We use that to grab, spare metal.
Yeah, and this one's a demon grinder.
That is correct. That is a demon grinder. It's at least about 5-10 feet bigger than the scavenger.
I'm going to go with the one that grinds demons.
I pretty much agree. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's as you can see plainly, and like he sort of sounds a little bit like a tour guide, but also sort of like a used car salesman to some degree. As you can plainly see in the front here, we've got our chomper, some good attack power. You just got to make sure that you position the target right smack in front of the chomper, and let the vehicle do the work, if you know what I mean. And he sort of moves around to the back of the demon grinder, points at this object on the back of the wagon. And you see that besides the two harpoon guns that are still underneath the wagon, there is a ball, 4 foot in diameter ball made out of dark iron that's affixed by a chain to a crane that's still underneath the demon grinder. And Wizen says, yeah, that's your wrecking ball. You aim that at other vehicles, other people, and let the ball do the work for you, if you know what I mean.
I'm actually paying very close attention to this.
Of course, you're going to need someone to drive it. You implying I'm going to drive you? What's up with that?
You're the driver. Maggie fired you a few minutes ago.
You look over at Maggie. When you say that, Maggie sort of looks over at you and smiles. And Wizen looks at Maggie and says, whoa, Maggie, I know there was some bad blood. I've been doing the best I can do, with the tools you've given me. I know there was that sort of idea about like taking my soul and using it for whatever kind of weird ritual. I thought that was a joke, to be honest. You weren't going to take my soul, right, Maggie? Maggie looks at Wizen and says, nah, I got what I need right here. And she holds out the 4 coins. So you need me, right, to fix these vehicles? And we promised, like, if I fix up your vehicle, you'd send me home.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I? Well, you didn't do a very good job, and you still haven't fixed a scavenger, so you fix up this demon grinder for these kind folks who rid me from another Avernian warlord, and I don't know.
And she looks over at the 4 of you for what it is that you want to do with Wizen.
Wizen, can you teach one of us to drive this?
Well, this is a pretty complicated vehicle.
Can you drive it?
Yeah, I mean, I am relatively well versed.
Yes or no? Yes, no,
land.
yes, no, yes. Which one?
Yes. The answer would be
you're
yes.
going to be our driver.
I hold up my hand. Can you teach us to drive it?
Yeah, I could teach you. It'll take a couple days. If you really want me to, it's no problem.
Yes, I think one of us should learn.
We could learn on the fly, though. We don't want to stay here for a couple days, do we? We got stuff to do. No offense, Maggie. I like your house.
We don't know what Lulu will need once she regains her memory. I think that should be our focus.
I just get the sense that what she's asking us is, do we want him to drive us or do we want him to be sent home?
Well, what do you want, Wizen?
Oh, I kind of miss my wife and my kids, but I did some really sort of stupid things in my life, and I guess I ended up here because of it.
Listen, we ain't gonna force...
I mean, I'm not a devil. I'm not a bad person. I just made some bad choices.
We ain't gonna force you, but listen, if you come with us, we'll be straight with you. No tricks. We're trying to save Elturel. We'll do what we can to get you home.
I don't even know what that is, but that's cool. I mean...
Wait, I got an offer. Go with us for a few days, teach us how to drive, and in a few days, I'll send you home.
I'm sorry, what?
Maggie says, I'm sorry, what?
I'll send him home.
Wizen looks at you. Yeah, you can do that?
Well, I can't, but Ilmata can.
Well, whoever this Ilmater is, thank them for me, because, wow. Mad Maggie looks at the 4 of you and then looks at Wizen and says,
Wizen, it's your choice. You go with them, you teach them how to drive, that'll be fine. I don't care. But if you want me to send you home right here and now, you gotta fix one of these things, because that's a deal.
Wizen says, I mean, the guy with the really long arms, he makes a really, decent offer, Maggie. I hope that breaking my pact with you doesn't make this, a thing where I'm going to end up in hell or something like that, or you're going to take my soul. I mean, you said you already got the souls that you needed, so I'm pretty sort of good with that. So, yeah, I'll teach him how to drive. That's fine.
For the record, I don't have long arms. You have short arms. Just putting it out.
He looks down at his, stubby elephant arms. He's like, that's just being cruel, but whatever. The Redcaps clean up the mess. Maggie has her 4 souls that she needs for the ritual that will hopefully restore Lulu's memories. She offers you rations because, well, it seems like you guys are on good terms again. Maybe not the best terms. And during the ensuing, perhaps half hour or so that you were all treated to the best of Maggie's food, you all come to realize that your situation has certainly changed. You've now aligned yourself with someone who purports to be a warlord of hell and obtained, potentially, one of 2 infernal vehicles to bring you throughout the plains of Avernus looking for this sword of Zariel that Lulu seems to be having some idea of where it may be, but locked inside of her memories. The only way that you'll be able to hopefully find some clue of its location is by enacting this ritual that Mad Maggie has yet to set up. What do you guys want to do before she does that?
How long do we have?
She says that she could start the ritual as soon as possible, actually.
Well, I think we should at least take an hour to rest, don't you?
Yeah. Corbin would like to ritually cast detect magic on all the dead bodies, including the to bird dudes and everybody, see if there's anything around here that might be of interest.
The two dead Kenku both have magical weapons, Clonk and Shukka.
He'll just take those and hand them to Ofelia and go, what's this? What's this? He'll just pick it up and hand it to her.
So I will take 20 minutes to cast Identify on both
While
of these
that's
items.
happening, I will squat near a clump of dead Kenku and Whereat, and I say, Corbin, come over here, have a look at this. I think this might be something.
Corbin will go, what'd you find? Detect magic. Do I find anything?
What are you pointing at, Renascence?
I'm just pointing at a body that I know doesn't have anything on it.
You're bullshitting, right?
Yeah. I say, when'd you make the deal?
What you mean?
The deal that you made. When'd you make it?
I never made any deals. I don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes in life, you know, there's things you can't talk about. You know, like if you got like a fungus on your balls, you don't go around telling everybody, hey, I got fungus on my balls, right? You just don't do it. And sometimes you can't talk about it. But you said that we need to trust our friends, right? That we're all we got. And so I'm hoping you'll trust me.
When we was back in Candlekeep, that imp said he couldn't do a deal with you. And you told him that it was Kazil Martyr.
Right?
You was lying. That's not why.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Corbin, look at me. You was lying.
Look him right in the eye.
Yeah, I've already insight checked him on this, so I know he's lying.
I got to be careful here.
Renascence, you're not listening. Sometimes
I point to the pocket where I detected.
Talking. Wait.
I point to the pocket where I detected
listen.
magic earlier, and I stopped talking. I'm just pointing at the soul coin in his pocket.
You're not listening. Sometimes you can't talk about things. You just can't. And I don't know how to explain it, but you can't talk about things, so you don't talk about them, and you hope that someone who cares about you and trusts you will figure it out. But when you can't talk about it, you can't talk about it, and that's it.
Corbin, I do care. I just want to help, mate.
Just have my back until the time comes, and trust me, I'll
Corbin looks down. He's trying to be very careful with what he says.
I'll do what I'm supposed to do. Trust me.
I'd like to insight check that.
What are you trying to insight check?
I'm trying to insight check whether he's equivocating.
Okay.
Like, because he's trying to say, in other words, he's trying to say, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as if I'm supposed to be reassured by that. My question is, am I reassured by that?
I don't think you need to necessarily make a roll for it, to be honest. I mean, you know he's lying. You know he's trying to cover up for his lie. You know he's trying to sort of assuage you.
He's not trying to cover up his lie.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to.
I don't know how to say it without actually just saying it out, Matt.
I mean, you might as well.
Okay, so in my deal, I am not allowed to talk about my deal or is considered breaking my deal. I've reread that thing a couple times. So Corbin is trying to be very careful to tell Ren that he's made a deal
without saying it. Got it.
Can I try to make an insight check to see if Renascence understands the legitimacy of Corbin would tell me if he could, but legitimately can't?
That's real tough.
Or if he thinks it's just, or should I just make this call like for Renascence?
I'll give you the option. Would you like to roll for it, or would you like to just make the call?
Corbin.
What?
You don't have to talk. Don't move.
All right.
Just stand there. Don't move.
All right.
Reach for that pouch.
Okay.
As he does, Corbin says,
Oh, right. I owe you some money. It's in there. Just take your money. Nothing else. Just your money.
Yep. Just going to have a little look.
I owe you 10 coppers. Take them.
Just have a little look for my cash, Corbin. I'm going to root around in that purse and see if I find a soul coin in it.
you do.
Take nothing.
You touch this strangely warm iron disc in his pouch.
All right, my hand immediately recoils. I take 2 copper pieces out of the pouch. There we go. And I close and tie the pouch back up.
You got your money, so we're square, right?
Yeah, Corbin. We're square. I put the 2 coppers away and I give him back the pouch with the soul coin still in it. All right, Corbin.
We're friends, right?
Corbin. We're brothers.
All right. So, trust me, okay? Please?
I trust you, mate.
No one's ever trusted me before, but I need this. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
I say loudly, no, it's just intestines. Sorry, Corbin.
Yeah, it's disgusting. No, don't look here. It's gross.
Ofelia, your identify spells, both one after the other, complete, and you determine that Chukka had a magical silvered pike.
I think we should hang on to this.
Clunk had a very interesting looking war hammer, which you identify as a hellfire war hammer. It glows with this orange reddish light from some kind of channels along the sides of massive business end, perhaps. And you know that besides the fact that it is a very heavy, imposing weapon, that it is fashioned from infernal iron, just like the chains that hold down the city of Elturel. And any humanoid that is killed by an attack from this weapon has its soul funneled into the river Styx.
Oh.
Immediately.
Oh my God.
Where any humanoid that is killed and its soul immediately funneled will be reborn instantly as a Lemur devil.
That is awful.
That is quite interesting. Well, I suppose we should hold on to these. And perhaps we can... Does anyone want them particularly?
I could use that pike.
Take the pike?
I wouldn't use that thing on anyone. I point to the warhammer.
Can we
I
destroy
still
that?
think we should take it.
Yeah, I mean, better with us than with them.
I'll take it. I don't want to use it, I don't think. Maybe throw it in the river.
Yeah, I'd rather we have it than it just be lying around here with them. I sort of point to the madcaps and
I
redcaps.
quite agree.
Like, that's a bad scene.
Yes. Corbin, why don't you hold on to it for now?
All right.
And we can decide later what best to do.
Corbin
with
will take that hellfire hammer. There's no other magic around here?
No?
How about in the vehicle itself? Is there anything?
Yeah, you notice a couple of very interesting things in the vehicle. Unfortunately, it's upside down, so you don't really get a very good idea of what it is. But inside the demon grinder, there seems to be some kind of a furnace. You assume that this is probably its engine, and it's glowing with reddish energy. And all of its weapons are indeed magical, meaning that the harpoon flingers, the wrecking ball, the chomper on the front of it, they all do magical damage.
And Wizen knows how to use all these weapons. He could show us.
Sure, it seems so. You just pull the trigger, pretty much. Wizen says, yeah, I'll just see if Mickey and I can maybe find some way of pulling the demon grinder into the shop, and we'll get to work on it right away. As I always say, never half-ass 2 things, just whole-ass 1 thing. And Mickey and Wizen begin to sort of attach a giant chain to the demon grinder and bring it back inside the cave. Mad Maggie, on the other hand, has been feverishly setting up the ritual. She has drawn a circle, and within that circle, she has drawn 4 smaller circles for the 4 of you to sit. And in the center, she has drawn a 5th circle for Lulu to sit. She then, from her bag, produces 2 skulls, kissing them on the forehead before placing them on the ground, and says,
Oh, my dear, dear sisters. Looks like it's time to get to work. Y'all ready?
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, with Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Carolyn Fox as Hylan, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Tal Aviezer, as Renascence. This episode was edited by Carolyn Fox and me. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. Thanks very much for listening. We will be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
and And now Lulu.
I knew your real name was Lugu.